Constitution is not a leap into the unknown. It is a safety net for men afraid of what universal consciousness might become in other bodies. It codified fear. It empowered fear. It weaponized fear into law. There is no faith in a constitution that assumes freedom must be granted by man and not inherent to being. There is no faith in a government that checks power through bureaucracy instead of character. And there is no faith in a system that creates a Supreme Court with lifetime terms and then staffs it with slave owners and their ideological descendants. Yes, the Constitution allows for amendments. And yes, those amendments have moved us forward. But using the Constitution to fight for human rights is like patching bullet holes in a sinking slave ship. Amendments aren't evolutions. They are negotiations and compromises with white supremacists. They are often the bare minimum need to stop mass unrest, not the bold reimagining needed for collective flourishing. And that's why we're still fighting over originalism in the 21st century, because the founding document was never authored for a multiracial democracy. And if your society is still interpreting the sacred intentions of men who didn't believe black people were human or that women were capable of voting, your society is not free. It is haunted. Having the oldest constitution in the world isn't a flex. It's a red flag. It doesn't prove our strength. It proves our fear. It proves that we are so loyal to the past, we've stopped believing in the future. It shows that out of all countries in the world, we're the one most afraid of the present and the future, that we honor the imagination of slave owners instead of trusting our own, that we've mistaken preservation for progress. We are not revolutionaries. We are caretakers of ghosts. The Constitution is not holy. It is not eternal. It is a man-made structure. And anything man-made can be unmade. In this framework, everything evolves. Everything is in motion. Everything must eventually be reimagined. So why not government? Why not that document? We live in an age where knowledge has been democratized, where digital space is important as physical ones, where global crises demand visionary leadership, where consciousness is expanding, and with it, the moral expectations of society. And this sacred cow of American exceptionalism, the idea that the Constitution is the pinnacle of government, is not just outdated, it's in the fucking way. To create a society that allows humans to self-actualize, not just to obey, we need to start over. Not to erase the past, but to transcend it. Not to dishonor the courage of revolution, but to finish the work that was never truly begun. The Constitution was the beginning, but it cannot be the end. The United States is a country still obsessed with a document written by dead white supremacists, as if sacred texts can be authored by men who denied humanity of most of the people living around them. Let's stop pretending this is complicated, nigga. You cannot get equality from men who did not believe they were equal to the people around them. This is not a flaw in logic. It is the logic. That is the seed from which the entire American society have grown, and somehow in 2025, we are still trying to get nourishment from its poison fruit. The Constitution is not holy. The Constitution is not eternal. It's not even rational anymore. It is a piece of 18th century paper written by people who believe women were too emotional to vote, black people were 3/5 of a human beings, and native peoples were savages to be erased. These were not confused men of their times. These were cowards who compromised with evil and deified their own self-interest.